Welcome back, viewers. I am Faisal Karim, Member of Parliament for Shagona Sis. I hope you enjoyed our first of the two-part video series, Essential Skills. The first part involved container growing. This second part will teach you how to establish your own grow box in the comfort of your home. In this time of the pandemic and economic conditions which we are experiencing, it will allow you to grow your own food, your fruits, your vegetables, and will assist you in meeting your nutritional needs. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Ramsawak Ramdat, who will show you the important elements of establishing your grow box. It will, in my view, be an important exercise for the family, educationally, and also a fun exercise. I now introduce you to Mr. Ramdat.
Okay, good afternoon, folks, once more. We're going to look at the second demonstration. And this system now is a little more involved than the simplest container gardening system. This is using the grow box system. Now in agriculture, there are many systems of crop production. You have from the simplest like the container gardening, grow box, hydroponics, aeroponics, aquaponics, shade house, greenhouse. You have all kind of different systems where you could produce plants and produce vegetables and so. We're going to look at a second system now. It's a little more involved than the first one. And the system we're going to look at is the grow box system based on Dr. Mitleider's recommendations. He recommended organic material. This is where we're going to use the sawdust. Bagasse used to be the material we use in this country, but you can't get bagasse again. We're not grinding any more cane, but sawdust is easily available. If you go in a sawmill and you're buying a bag of sawdust already filled, it's $10. If you go with your bag and you fill it yourself, it's just $5. So sawdust not expensive. I went with a fella, this sawdust I give you here, it's $5 I pay. I carry a guy and we full 18 bags of sawdust one shot. So it's something easily available. And this is the organic part. It should be between 75 to 80% in the mixture. And the inorganic part now is the sharp sand. But this is the recommendation. 75 to 80% organic and 20 to 25% inorganic. And we're going to add to that fertilizers and limestone. So this is the mixture for the grow box system that we're going to do. A grow box is exactly what it says, growing in a box. All right, folks, so a grow box could be any size. I just give you the recommendations for a standard size, which is 35 feet long, 4 feet wide, and you got the idea, about 8 inches high, 8 to 10 inches high. A grow box can be built with any kind of materials. You could use bricks, you could use bamboo, but the ideal kind of grow box, using concrete box is the best thing. You get in 8 inches of soil, and you could build it any size. 4 feet is the recommended width. If you build it wider than 4 feet, it will be difficult for you to reach the center of that grow box. If you build it 5, 6 feet, that's too wide. So the official recommendation, build it 4 feet, you could build it any length you want. You could use any kind of material. Bricks is the best one. Later on with bricks, you could take some mortar and tack. When you put the two bricks together, you could tack it. So you maintain the integrity of the box like that. It will last a longer time. We're going to mix 2 batch now. 4 bags of sawdust to 1 bag of sharp sand. That's what we're going to mix. And that's what we're going to fill inside our grow box. And we're going through a step-by-step process. The first thing we're going to put inside that grow box is limestone. Limestone at the bottom. Now building a grow box on soil is the ideal situation, because you're going to put nutrients in the grow box in your media. You put in your organic stuff, that's the bagasse. You put in your inorganic sharp sand. You put in limestone, fertilizers. So the bottom of the box, we're doing the 10 pounds of limestone, that's what they normally do. That is to neutralize any acidity in the soil. I want to ask all you if all you test the soil, right? Most Trinidad soil is acidic. So this is why they put that limestone at the bottom of the box. So that's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing, we're going to mix the media here, right here, and then we're going to fill. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is 4 well decomposed bag of sawdust. We're going to use a mixture 4:1. To that we're going to add now 1 bag of sharp sand. So we have a 4:1 formula. Let's roll, Mr. Roach. So this is what you're hoping to get. Sawdust that's well working into the sharp sand. Both of them together, so you have a nice little mixture there. You don't just have organic, you have both organic and inorganic. Okay folks, the grow box, we don't put the limestone at the bottom. We mix the sawdust and sharp sand 4:1, and right now we finishing the job by leveling off the top. When you finish, fill the grow box, your top should be level to the top of the blocks. So that's what you're aiming at, to have a nice level finish on top. Okie dokie, once you finish that, the next 2 ingredients going now is the limestone and fertilizer. Like I was telling you, in a standard size grow box, if you build one 35 feet long, 4 feet wide, 5 pounds of fertilizer had to go there. But because we do only a 2 batch, we go in there with about 22 ounces. So about 1.5 pounds roughly, we're going to put fertilizer. So the fertilizer right here. And we have to apply this and spread it kind of evenly on the surface of this mixture here now. Why evenly spread? I'm using the word evenly spread for a purpose. When you plant something like pak choy, for instance, you don't want one pak choy big so, and the next will come out like that, right? You want a uniform, mean all the pak choy must have a nice, beautiful size, similar kind of size. You want uniform production. To achieve that, you must spread the fertilizer evenly. So at all points in this box, you have equal amounts of fertilizers, right? So this is why you spread this fertilizer like this, evenly all about. Okay. The next thing we're going with is the limestone now. So we evenly spread the fertilizer on top. We're going to do the same thing with the limestone. Once you achieve that, that's the final ingredient you're throwing in. So it's the last piece of preparation now. We have to lightly mix in these both materials on top and level back. Mr. Roach could come with the hoe while I use my hands. So this 2 material we put in inside of there, you lightly mix in like this, and then you level back. You mix in like this. You don't want this fertilizer too low in the box. That's why you put it on top. You want the plant to access that nutrients easily. So you lightly mix in and leveling back. So you soak in this box. So wetting the grow box is your last operation in preparing a grow box from start to finish. That wetting, the next job is simply to plant. Now you could plant, farmers will normally do 1 crop in a grow box, whole thing pak choy because they planting to sell. But a backyard gardener could plant a variety of crops. Sweet pepper, tomato, lettuce, pak choy, you name it, you could plant a variety of things, right? The key thing to understand is when you're planting different varieties, you have different spacing. right? If you're planting chive, for instance, you go as close as 6 to 8 inches apart you could plant chive. But if you're going with sweet pepper, you want to go about 18 inches. So the size of plant going to reach at full maturity is a guide to you how to space your plants. Different kinds of vegetables, you have different kinds of spacing. So we will start with the sweet pepper, right? In a grow box like this, sweet pepper normally plant on the ground about 18 inches apart. So we will just go with 3 rows. 3 rows for sweet pepper. When you're planting in a grow box, don't plant you're not planting jamming the plants to the edge of the grow box. You're not planting so. When you're planting in a grow box, you're coming 6 inches inside the grow box. 6 inches from this side and 6 inches from when you have something like chive, it's a totally different spacing to sweet pepper. I will plant on, you could catch me in the back here. When you're planting chive now, it's a closer spacing. Same 6 inches from the edges. And we will plant this chive about 8 inches apart, because chive don't get too big. Maintenance now, folks. After you build your grow box, you plant your crop, your space depending on variety. There are 2 ways to maintain a crop in a grow box. One is water salted. 1 tablespoon. Bam. That's it. Right. So some people use a big word called fertigation. Fertigation is a marriage of irrigation and fertilization. You're wetting and you're feeding at the same time, right? So you could, when you plant, this is the first one you use, first fertilizer. So these plants have to establish themselves overnight. So you're giving them a nice little kickstart here by feeding them as you plant. Right, so that's one way of fertilizing your plant in a grow box. The second way is using your nice compound fertilizer, and you're doing a ring placement. Ring placement means you're putting the fertilizer around the plant like this. But this, you could do this, you're making a ring about 6 inches away. The fertilizer must not be physically touching the plant. So 6 inches away from your plant, you do a ring placement, and that's how you maintain your crop in a grow box. When you care after your plant is a crucial thing in anything, just like you mind an animal. You have to take care of the animal, make sure the animal get water and grass and feed every day. It's the same story with the plants. You have to care for the plant to do well. So these are 2 simple systems that we went through this evening. We look at first at the container planting. We use soil, we use sawdust, we use sharp sand, equal proportions, and then we mix fertilizer and limestone, and we plant in 2 different size of container, a 5-gallon container and a 1-gallon container, giving you the option depending on the size of container you're going to use. And then we come and show you here how to do grow box. 2 hours ago there had no grow box here. Now you have a grow box that fully constructed, planted and already established. The rest of plants will come in there later. Here we build the box first with the blocks, concrete blocks. Then we put limestone at the bottom first. Then we went and mixed sawdust and sharp sand 4-to-1, mixing both ingredients, and we fill the box right up level to the top. Then we come with fertilizers and we evenly spread that fertilizer on top. Then limestone come next. Then we mix in both materials, the limestone and fertilizer, level back the entire box, and then we wet. When you wet a grow box, that is when you finish. That is the last operation you do before you plant, and we just plant. So this is how we are wrapping up this lesson this evening here, by recapping both demonstrations that we just put on here. And this is something people could do home by their house. The material is easy to get, the technology is very simple, right? And anybody could do it. It's something we could do at this kind of time that we're living in now, and all over the world have this threat of this virus. People have to stay home, you have lockdown all over the place. Use the time and use it constructively to help yourself. And this whole objective of these two lessons is for the backyard gardener, the home gardener, and the person who forced to stay home, not because he wants to, because he have to, right? Now you have the time, and there's very little space you could do container gardening, and look at how much space we use here to build a grow box, not much space. So anybody could do this thing. So with these folks, I want to thank you for paying attention to me a little bit, and wish you all the best in your home gardening. Bye.